Okay, and we're back. Good morning. Welcome to Where's My Tea, where you send me your issues and I give you advice on it. Let's get right into it. Alright, y'all, so it goes like this. Hey, Nene, I need some advice. I'm a correctional officer and have been for like 3 years. I was never attracted to inmates, and I said I was never going to be the one that will fall for one, but it happened recently. He's getting out in like 2 years, but I'm willing to wait on him because I really like him. And I'm risking my job talking to him, and he's risking his respect from his fellow inmates talking to an officer. When he gets out and we're together, I know I'm going to get judged like crazy. Don't people deserve second chances? He's been in jail since he's been 16, doing something stupid. FYI, he's not a murderer nor a rapist. In 2 years, it will be 10 years. He's so sweet to me, and he's really like my best friend. I don't give him money, nor do he ask me for my money, which is good because I know inmates will use you. Do you think this could be a legit thing? And how will I explain this relationship if it gets out to my family and friends? Where's my tea? We got orange juice today. Let's just give the backgrounds. We have a correctional officer who has fell in love with an inmate. So the inmate has been in there since he was 16 years old. He was serving a 10-year sentence, will be out in 2 years. And she says that they plan to be together in 2 years. She wants to know if this relationship will be like a thing. And if it is a thing, how does she explain this to her family and friends? You know, at this point, this is not even about judgment. It's simply about what's right and what's wrong. And that's all it is. You know, no person should cost you your job, especially working in this particular field. You know the statutes, the laws, the rules against prison inmate relationships. Not only are they dangerous, but professionally, you pose a risk of losing your job. You can also face penalties, and some as harsh as years in prison, based on the type of relationship you hold with an inmate. Why would you risk that? It is statistically proven, it is known that inmates who coerce officers or having relationships with inmates are just not the best option for correctional officers or just people who work in prisons, period. Inmates have a way of manipulating you, using you to do favors, using you to have sex, using you to bring money those ways. You didn't mention, you said that he's not using you for money, and it's okay. He may not be, but the fact is potentially he could. Sometimes the inmates, they like to, like I said, manipulate, and they set the whole scene. When they find an officer that's easy, they know how to peel their way in, and they know how to get you. And females, it's not hard, especially when it seems like you seem like you were open to it. But then they pull you in, and they make you feel like you can trust them, and they make you feel like, and this is not every inmate, but this has been proven in inmate behavior and some behaviors of inmates. They make you feel like, you know, you guys are best friends and that he likes you and there could be potential. And then before you know it, that's when the favors start coming in because you love that person. You're doing a favor because that you care for that person, and then it becomes your role to do that. You already messed up one. You said here in the email that he's losing his respect by his fellow inmates. That number one, that means other people know about your relationship. So now you are in greater danger than what you think of. Prison, there's no rules there. There's no line. There's no barriers. That boy messed up with somebody, or somebody just feel like they want to snitch. You pose the risk of being caught. You pose the risk of losing your job. You pose the risk of placing punishment on yourself. I'm not saying that prisoners don't need second chances. What I'm saying is, as a professional of an organization, you are to uphold the standards of that organization. You are a correctional officer. You should not be having a relationship with an inmate. You, out of all people, know how dangerous these situations can be. So honestly, I don't know if this can be legit. What I do know is the fact that you're totally wrong. You've crossed all lines. The fact that the position you hold, I can only say this is wrong. I can only predict that this won't turn out the right way. And I can't give you the best advice because this is totally wrong. Officers should not be dating prisoners. It just doesn't work. You are supposed to protect the prisoners. Also, you're just supposed to protect the jail as an organization itself. You pose so many risks just as the organization, and it's really just not worth it. I could give you advice like, have you thought of all factors, all questions? What can he offer you when he gets out? Do you realize that this is going to be hard for him to find a job? Are you able to financially support him and you? Are you able to, what is his family ties like? Who's visiting him? I can ask you all of those questions, but I'm not getting there because I can't enforce this. I cannot sit here and advise you as a professional on how to go about your relationship with an inmate. That's just not even ideal on my part. That's just not ethical on my part. So I'm sorry that I can't help you with your email, but if your job status, your job title was a bit different, then maybe we can get somewhere. But the fact that you are actually a correctional officer and you're emailing me about a relationship you're having with an inmate, I just can't give you that. That is dangerous. Correctional officers are not supposed to date and deal with inmates. It's just not right. Sis, this was a super short Where's My Tea, but I've never gotten an email about that before, and I knew I just had to, let's address this. Like, this is not okay. So you know what? Give me your advice. That is my advice. Tell me what you think about this. Tell me, I mean, based off the email, we don't have enough information to be honest. But just tell me, do you think this right? Do you think I failed at not giving her advice? Do you think I was right in not giving her advice? Leave all of that down below. Were you once in that position before? And you may not have been a correctional officer. Were you a nurse working in a prison? Were you in that position before when it happened? Just leave your feedback down below. As always, if you would like your story to be featured on Where's My Tea and you need advice, go ahead and shoot me an email. My email address is wmtscandals@yahoo.com. You'll also find that in the description box. And that is it. I will see you guys next Saturday.